Hey everyone, it's Leo Young here with Impressive Graphics Media, and today we got a little bit of news. Not even today, like 3 days ago. So DC or Warner Brothers Man of Steel was never actually supposed to get a Man of Steel 2. Now, once again, a Twitter account has revealed behind the scenes idea and content about some of our favorite upcoming films of the past, present, and future. I think I read that right. This time, we get an explanation as to why the next film of after Man of Steel wasn't Man of Steel 2, but Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Now, on April 21st, 3 days ago, I'm sorry if I pronounced your last name wrong, Oliva, storyboard artist for both Man of Steel and Batman v Superman and a bunch of other movies like Thor Ragnarok and Spider-Man, responded on Twitter to someone commenting on how more people know a vision from the Avengers and how over the past 5 years Superman never got a sequel. Now, Oliva's response was that Superman films were never intended to be placed as 1 and 2, but instead in chapters. Man of Steel acted as chapter 1, while Batman v Superman acted as chapter 2. The tweet reads, Man of Steel was never meant to have a sequel because it was supposed to be chapter 1 of a 5-chapter story. Notice how Batman v Superman follows exactly after Man of Steel? It's like book 2 of Harry Potter. Now, this news comes as no real surprise, mainly because it doesn't really say, hey, here's what the next movie is going to be. It's just like, hey, it's a chapter. You know, Man of Steel 2 never was supposed to exist. It was Man of Steel, Dawn of Justice, and I suppose if you want Justice League, because it is his birth, his death, his rebirth, and then there were supposed to be 2 more stories. But this is also Snyder's idea. This is how Snyder wanted to do his films. So it makes me wonder what the last 2 films were going to be, because a lot of people are like the death of Superman. But at the same time, if the films were basically not named Superman, they were going to be other things. Maybe Flashpoint, an event that would affect Superman as well, would be a chat. See, the whole chapter thing kind of confuses me, because Man of Steel, like Batman v Superman, I can understand how that would be chapter 2. But I'm not 100% sure if Justice League is chapter 3. Because yes, it does involve Superman, but he's only in it for like the last act. He comes back in kind of. But I guess it also counts the original Zack Snyder idea was Superman was supposed to come back and work with Darkseid to a degree. And it turned a little bit injustice, and I guess over time, like the 4th movie, he'd come back, and the 5th movie, they would fight Darkseid. That would be his 5th chapter. But I also don't know if this is how Snyder wanted all of the movies. What the hell was that? All of the movies to work. Like if Wonder Woman was supposed to get like Wonder Woman chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, or if that's someone else's department. But all of this is really just giving me a headache. It's very interesting to see that it was supposed to be set up as a chapters like system. But again, it's like the whole thing about Harry Potter's chapter is it all focuses on Harry Potter. Batman v Superman definitely focused on Batman and Superman. Justice League focused on the team and not Superman. But now, what are your thoughts on this? I know a lot of you are a little upset that Snyder had stepped down from Justice League and Joss Whedon came in, and some people view that was a failure. But at the same time, there were some people who were happy about Joss Whedon's cut compared to Snyder's. But in my opinion, is like the way that everyone was trying to make it seem like editors. Snyder's cut, try to see his rating. Snyder's cut and Whedon's cut were 2 different things. That's why they didn't want to release Snyder's cut. Because if you looked at Whedon's version and then you're like, alright, let's get the director's version. What the fuck is this? Who's this? Who is that old manly woman? Granny Goodness. Who the fuck is Granny Good? That's pretty much it. It would have been completely different, and people who watched the first film would have been like, what the hell is this? Even my friends were like, I'm not going to see Justice League. I'll just wait for the director's cut. It's like, director's cut is a little bit different than the one we saw in theaters. But I digress. Sorry, that went a little bit off topic. I just want to hear your thoughts, opinions on this whole chapter thing. If you really got nothing to say, like I'm surprised I even had this much to say. But if you have anything you want to say about it, like oh, I would have been interested to see how that goes or all that. I'm going to see how the future of the Man of Steel goes because I'm very curious now that I think about it. Now that Snyder's gone, who's really in charge of Man of Steel and all that? Or is he back? Anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did and you want to get updated to our next video, please hit the subscribe button to get access to our notification gong so you can be notified to when our next video drops. But if you're not down for that, that's fine. You can at least show support for what we do here at the channel by liking, commenting, sharing with your friends and family.